Rachel. Welcome back to another plant channel. If you're new here, take a second to subscribe and click on the bell so you don't miss anything. But today, I'm going to do something a little different. It's starting to get colder in the nights here, so it's time to bring my outdoor plants in. And I know you haven't seen my porch all season, so we're going to go out there and I'm going to give you like a peek of it before I take it down and kind of tell you what I'm doing with each of the plants. And then I'll show you the setup I have. The setup is going to be upstairs, so the lighting will not be great, but I wanted to show you what I do, so in case it could help somebody else. So let's just turn this camera around and head out on the porch. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you come up the porch. To the side of the door, I have this shelf unit from IKEA with some plants. And then on the other side, I have my seating area. So real simple, most of the plants that you see out here are gonna go upstairs. Pretty much all the tropicals, all of these guys. The only ones that I'm gonna put in the basement from out here are these large Thematophyllums. So I'm gonna put these in the basement. These seem to do okay when the temperature drops to about 50-ish, and my basement never gets colder than that. So I've got this one here, and I've got that one in the corner, and they'll both go in the basement. And then the palm trees, I treat these kind of as a throwaway plant. I know they don't do great inside, so I pick one up each season, and then I'll keep it out here as long as I can. But we'll just look at these shelves real quick so you can see what I've got going on out here. I have some Thanksgiving cactus, some Ripsalis, my ZZ plant. This is the first time in like 2 years that it's put out growth for me since I put it out here for the summer. A red Emerald Philodendron, Burley Marks, Marble Queen Pothos, Brazil, Philodendron Brazil. Now this one here is one that grows so fast. I think I'm going to take cuttings and probably give part of the plant away because I just have too much of it. And that's something I've been doing a lot in these past couple weeks, which I might do a video about that too. I gave away a lot of plants that I realized weren't making me happy anymore. Okay, we got a Ripsalis Pilocarpa. We've got a Monstera here, and this is cuttings from my original plant. This is a plant that grows so well. Down here we've got my ficus. This is just a green Jade Pothos. This is, I believe it's the Enjoy. This is that one you saw in my struggling video. I put it out here because I thought the humidity would help, and so far it's doing pretty well. But it is going to be getting colder, so it's time to bring him in. He'll be the first one I bring in. Got my neon Pathos out here, which did really well this summer. It was just the top of the pot. It put on all this growth. I took a cutting already, and then I've got some really cool variegated looking ones in here. So I'm really happy with how he's doing out here. We've got another Burley Marks, and then we've got a Lemon Lime Maranta. Now over here I just have a Hoya Carnosa. I picked this up as cuttings in a swap a couple years ago, and it grew into a full plant. Ponytail Palm, another one from a swap. My Yucca. Now up here I've got, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it good with the lighting, but I've got this Black Pagoda lipstick plant, and this plant is one that did okay inside, but out here it just took off. None of this trailing stuff was here before this summer. Here I've got my Xanadu and a curly spider plant. Okay, coming over here, you saw this guy. We've got just some cuttings from a Heartleaf Philodendron because I wanted something that would grow kind of quickly in this spot, and it did. Now coming over here, we've got some Hoyas all hanging up here, and they seem to do really good this summer. They enjoyed it. So we've got the Pubicalix, the Crimson Queen. This one is the Bertonii, and then over here is the Hoya Chelsea. And then hanging here I have my Cebu Blue. And then if we come down here, I've got my Staghorn Fern, my Silver Glory String of Hearts. I have a pot that I loved and couldn't ever find anything to put in it. So this is my little area where I can sit and read or have tea. And then the last two to show you are these guys here, and they're kind of here because they're special. So this is my Pastazanum, and it did really well out here this summer. These I got as an import because I wanted some fancy plants for the porch. And then this one here is my Philodendron mame. So this one you can see it started putting out new leaves. They're tinier, but I like them better, to be honest with you. So I'm happy about him. And now we're gonna go out back, and this has a southern exposure. So this is where I keep the cacti and stuff. And I don't know if this is gonna be washed out. I'm just gonna take you through it real quick. So just have some cacti, some euphorbia, some exciting ones. This one here I brought back to life. This is a Euphorbia tirukali or pencil cactus. I got that as a clearance project, and it's finally putting on some new growth down in here. And then the other one I found really exciting, this is the bottom part of my boob cactus. When I bought it on Etsy, it was really crooked, so I chopped it off to make the top half what I wanted. And this one this year finally put out some new growth. And then I've got a Haworthia underneath because they don't want as much sun. I've got a Caladium over here in this part where it only gets filtered light. My Mandevilla. This was a plant I got for like $1 or something at Walmart, I think. If I can find a picture, I'll put it in. It was a clearance plant, and it's doing so good. This is like its 3rd or 4th year, I think, with me. And then just a golden pothos. So this one will go into the basement because that one does okay. This one here, what I do is when it's over for the season, I just let all the leaves die off and I stop watering completely until spring. And then all the cacti will end up going in the basement as well. So now that you've seen this, I'm gonna take you upstairs and show you the area where all the tropical plants are gonna live, show you what I did, what works for me, and maybe you can get some tips from that. Okay, so this is like an embarrassing type part because it's not super glamorous or styled. I have like some storage over to the side here, and that's Jordan's stroller for when he comes up here to hang out with me. But I mainly want to show you what I do, and I tried to make it prettier this year. So I have these shelves from IKEA, and they're called the Hejne, I believe, Hejne. If I can find them, I'll link them in the description box. And this is the only window in this whole little upstairs area that the plants are in. It's a north window, so basically it does nothing because it's a small one and it's shaded by a tree. So I almost pretend like there is no light from that window. So I have these shelves, and I've hooked up these lights underneath. These are all Hyper Tough lights from Walmart, and I think they're like $9 or $11. They're really affordable. They're made to be under cabinet lights, but I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I've never had any issues all winter long with the plants that are up here suffering from like bad growth due to lack of light. So they seem to be working for me. And what you can do is I've done 2 of them together. I mean, if you wanted to do only one shelf system, it'd be easier too, but you can chain them together. And then I just have them set up under each shelf. Now, because they're electric, obviously, and plants have water involved, I went ahead and did an extra step, and I'll show you that right here. So this is, I can water them in place, and this is real life. It's messy. I didn't clean it first. But I can water them in place here, and I don't have to worry about water dripping onto any of the lighting below. So what I did here is I just took like a plastic Tupperware type tub, and that would work, but I knew the water would drain and things sitting in it would be possibly waterlogged, so I took it a step further and I went to the dollar store and I got silverware organizers and cooling racks. So all the plants are raised up. I can kind of just splash water on them. I don't want to say I neglect them, but I don't care for them as well as I do my downstairs plants during the winter. So I can kind of just water them. The water drains through into these bins and it evaporates within like a week or so because the heating is right behind me. So it also adds humidity to the air while keeping the plants from getting root rot. So it works really well for that. And then let me just back up here so you can see that's where I'm in with the heating. And then I have this lamp here, which I only use when Christmas season comes around because I'll bring all my other indoor plants up so I can decorate fully for the season. And I'll set up like little makeshift tables here. And I've had good luck using that light to sustain them for the season. But I'm going to go ahead now and plug these lights in, and I'm hoping they'll turn on, just so you can see what it looks like. So it's kind of like a really pretty glow. I mean, this is something, if you had it in a living area, wouldn't blind you either. But what I do is I just turn them on every night before I go to bed, and then I turn them off before I leave for work, because I don't like to leave lights on when I'm not here. I'm really weird about that. And then I also keep a smoke alarm right up on top of the shelf, just in case. But yeah. So that is what I do. I've got to go and bring in the rest of my plastic trays, get that all set up, and then all the plants from the porch that are tropical will be on these shelves for the winter months. Okay, so I just realized that I shot that whole last portion of this upstairs area tour thing. I shot it with my camera vertical, so I think it's going to be smaller when you watch it, but I hope you still were able to kind of see what I'm doing and maybe get some ideas. I mean, maybe this will help somebody. I feel like these could be grow shelves that you used in a living area too, if you wanted. And this this wooden one from IKEA is actually a really affordable option compared to some of the other like glass shelving units or things they sell. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of like tour and how to bring your plants in for the winter. And give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're not subscribed already, take a second and do that if you liked this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.